This is the Work Smart Hypnosis podcast, session number 134. Explode your hypnosis business with online videos.
Welcome to the Work Smart Hypnosis podcast with Jason Linett, your professional resource for hypnosis training and outstanding business success. Here's your host, Jason Linett.
Hey there, welcome back. It's Jason Linett here with a solo session this week specifically to, if you pin me down, the one business strategy that truly can empower you to, as I like to say, make it rain, to really increase that income, drive even more clients into your hypnosis business, and really set things in such an automated motion that it really takes off. I'd kick off this session this week with a bit of a quick story, which in some ways is referenced back in a previous session specific to active and passive strategies. That when you look at the mechanisms that are out there to get out into the community and truly grow your hypnosis business, you could be doing a lot of these active strategies. And I would fold into that mechanisms such as business networking, going out and giving live talks, appearing at health fairs, or anything of this nature, things that are absolutely viable, and by all means, you should be doing these things, though they require that someone actually be there, putting in the physical time. It's where I'm guilty of at one point using a statement that many people would boast in this profession. Oh, I don't spend any money on advertising, which is an absolute lie. Why is it a lie? Because time is money. So I might not have put any money specific into a specific newspaper campaign, and yet there's 3 hours of my life where I was out there hitting 2 networking events in the morning and then coming into my office. Time is money, so some sort of monetary exchange was absolutely happening. So I mention that here because there's a specific point in time, though, where I stepped away from the business networking. I stepped away from giving the live talks because one other magical little segment of my business, in terms of my marketing efforts, in terms of my campaigning, really took hold. And then that was the mainstream from that day forward and continues to be that mainstream from this day onward. And of course, yes, I'm talking about online videos. So in this week's session, what am I about to cover? I'm about to cover what videos I'd highly recommend that you shoot. I'm going to give some recommendations in terms of specific equipment and specific accessories that I feel are necessary. I'm going to talk about some of the behind-the-scenes strategies that as people hire me as a business coach or as they work inside of my online community, Hypnotic Business Systems, what are some of the recommendations that I would make there to really build that skill at building these online videos? I'm going to give you some productivity hacks along the way, as well as some software recommendations. For more information like this, of course, head over to hypnoticbusinesssystems.com. Inside of Hypnotic Business Systems, it's my on-demand Netflix for your hypnosis business training library. Everything from screenshot tutorials to lecture content to done-for-you marketing campaigns. And inside of it, you actually get the experience as if you're sitting next to me in my office, watching me bang through a couple of videos in terms of shooting them, editing them, and then producing them up on the web as well. Get all the details and join for as little as $47 over at hypnoticbusinesssystems.com. And with that, let's jump directly into this outstanding content. This is the Work Smart Hypnosis podcast, session number 134, Explode Your Hypnosis Business with Online Videos. And away we go. There's a joke that I've been making for way too many years that I appear at a lot of hypnosis conventions. And as one of the main things that I'd often teach is that of automation. For one of these events, finally, I'm just not going to show up and just send a video instead. Kidding, of course. So what benefit do the online videos actually serve for me? Well, it kind of goes back to that introduction that I shared a little while ago in terms of that transition from active to passive strategies. I could be there at the BNI Business Networking International Group. I could be there at the local Lunch and Learn or a Rotary Club, and I could be there physically standing there in their presence, breathing the same air, talking about what I do. which is great. The benefit of that is it's catching people when they're already in that active mindset. They're already out in the community and they're already doing something in terms of improving their business. And for me to be there with them, it was a really quick way to build that rapport, build that relationship, build that value, and then drive people into my office to become paying clients. Though again, time is money. So there's a specific point in time where suddenly it became clear the people who were coming in by way of my website, people who were coming in by way of my YouTube channel, that was the stream that was bringing the majority of people in. Which is a quick side note, with all the efforts you ever do inside of your hypnosis business, absolutely track how people are finding you. And there's a couple of clever strategies of ways that you can do that. There are mechanisms to set up an alternate phone number. If you're doing some sort of print advertisement or some sort of online advertisement, you can buy an alias phone number either through Google Voice tends to be an easy way to do that. I think Callfire is a company that I may have used at one point as well, which there's pluses and minuses to that. On one side of things, it's a great tracking mechanism. On the other side of things, I've often found it to be more beneficial to have one specific phone number for your business. Otherwise, you are locked in to have that phone number as long as you're around. I have toll-free numbers, one for my stage hypnosis business and one for Virginia Hypnosis. And quite honestly, I'm not getting enough calls on them anymore because the market for the toll-free number really isn't quite as needed as it used to be because people are just going to pick up their cell phones and long-distance calling minutes just really are a non-issue. That being said, there's so many documents that are out there in the world that still have those toll-free numbers, so I'm kind of stuck paying for them, and it's not an expensive thing, it's just a mild annoyance, as it were. So in terms of tracking, you could do some sort of alias phone number. You could change up your call to action. In one place you could have call for your free consultation. Somewhere else, call for your phone consult. Somewhere else, call for your hypnosis screening. Somewhere else, call for your hypnotic strategy session. And this is what I like to call thingifying your offer. You could thingify that specific thing that they're responding to, and that's a great way to track the mechanisms that people are using to come in and actually work with you. That being said, with all these clever strategies, my favorite one is to just ask people, hey, how'd you find me? Why did you call me? What is it about my information that made you want to pick up the phone and call me today? And just to simply ask these questions starts to bridge into that conversation. And as I ask that simple question, the majority of people were now telling me, I've been watching you online for the last several days and weeks. And I'm at a point now that I'm ready to make this change. So the videos, and I want you to listen for the embedded hypnotic language inside of this statement. The videos have become a mechanism for people to meet me before you even come into my office. For my classes, it's a mechanism to interact with me before you even sign up for my class. The videos are a mechanism for you to find value in what I teach and make use of what I've shared with you before you even sign up for my products or my courses. So this is the value of the video. Call it a little bit of reciprocity, call it a little bit of social proof, call it just a little bit of building rapport in an indirect way, that through the lens of that camera, I'm building value, I'm building trust, and I'm building credibility with that potential audience at home. So the mechanism of the online video is that once I have that piece of information produced, and now my viewer at home or on their smartphone is interacting with me, take note of this. That is now information that I don't have to talk about. And I'd hedge this little issue off ahead of time because some people would hear this dialogue and they would say, no, my clients need to have that personal touch. They need to have that one-to-one experience. And I would come back and tell you that my clients are getting that probably even better because I don't have to be the one doing there. Here's a great example of this. I'm not the only hypnotist in the industry who does the whole routine where when you come in to quit smoking, you throw out your cigarettes. A lot of us do that. What's interesting, though, and I'd encourage you, head over to virginiahypnosis.com and click the button to look at the Stop Smoking page. If you look at that page, towards the top of that page, there is a video of me standing there, and it's called Stop Smoking Jars. And the video was entirely produced for me to tell the story of standing there with this big glass jar filled up with cigarettes. Well, not quite filled up. It's like 2/3 of the way filled. And I'm talking about some of the specific packs of cigarettes that people have thrown out over the years. Each and every pack has its own story. Here's the one that the guy threw away the plastic case he had hung on to so many years. Here's someone that was a 3-pack-a-day smoker. Here are chewing tobacco tins. Here are nicotine lozenges in there. And it might look like this jar is kind of empty. There's a good reason for that. And suddenly, bam, I pull out the second jar. It's because this one was already full. So as people come into my office and they're throwing out those cigarettes, here are the results you can begin to expect. Now, there's a couple of benefits that I want to highlight inside of having this video on my website. First of all, it's again providing that credibility, that social proof. This is a place that people go to quit smoking. Now, the magical thing is that this no longer has to be a moment of influence, of persuasion, or even hypnotic suggestion live in the room. Because as a result of this video, so many of my clients are walking into my office, cigarettes in hand, already crumpled up, throwing the pack of cigarettes away before they even sit in the hypnosis chair. And talk about an amazing place to launch your session off from. So it's that mechanism that, again, once I've produced that video, once I've produced that piece of content, that is now an asset for my business that is serving me time and time again, getting a ton of views. And again, the client is now coming in wonderfully primed for the change. So what am I getting at here? What are some common questions that people would have for you? And basically, for every answer you could possibly share with somebody, with every nuance you could possibly talk someone through of the hypnotic experience, each and every one of these things could be its own separate video. So another example, I believe still on the weight loss page of Virginia Hypnosis, I'd sometimes get the question of, are you going to put me on a program? Do I need to be on a weight loss program, or is it okay if I'm using some sort of diet and using the hypnosis to supplement it? Well, sure enough, I put together a quick video where I talked about that specific subject. I talked about that specific topic in great detail. And now as people are calling me, that again is a piece of dialogue that they have already engaged with me. And this is why, by the way, there's another segment inside of Hypnotic Business Systems where I teach what I've coined as the 500K phone script, that by the time I unpacked exactly what my phone consultation strategy was, it had generated more than $500,000 in private one-to-one client income over a couple of years. At this point, it's got to be more beyond that 500K factor. And the amazing thing about that phone process is not just the phone process. It's everything that's led up to it. It's why everything is a system. Because by the time we get on that call, chances are they've already been interacting with my videos. They've already been watching my content. They've already been learning from me. They've already been building that value and rapport with me. And that's how I'm closing a high dollar package of sessions, typically in less than 10 minutes time. And as a result of the confirmation email that immediately goes out, they're prepaying online and we're taken care of. I've got a virtually non-existent issue with no-shows at my office with the systems that I've built. I teach all that inside of Hypnotic Business Systems. But again, it comes back to these online videos that by the time they're calling me, we're now entering into a conversation that I'm joining live for the first time, and they've been interacting with me at this point. So what are the types of videos we can produce? Well, it can be the talking head. It could be the client success story, which if you look around the Virginia Hypnosis website, several of the pages have video testimonials from past clients. Basically, anything could become a video, and do not think of it as a should I do this one or should I do that one type thing. Instead, do as many as you possibly can. because the number of clients I've had over the years, I've asked, what videos did you watch? And they respond, as many as I could. Wow. They're building that content. The ultimate website nowadays is just a platform for online videos, in my honest opinion. You could have some of the most incredible skills of writing sales copy in terms of writing persuasive language and print, yet in our modern era, video is king. And take note that many people, the majority of people, are interacting with your websites and with your materials no longer on computers, no longer on desktops or laptops. Those are not the majority anymore. Those are the minority. The majority are interacting with their phones. So much of the traffic nowadays is mobile. So whether it's their phone, whether it's their tablet device, and again, it's that mechanism that we're going to navigate towards a video more than anything else. Though, let's set aside the actual content for a moment, and let's spend a couple of moments here talking about the actual equipment. Well, I've already referenced one of the pieces of equipment that you could actually make use of, which is that wonderful realization that chances are the smartphone that you most likely own is a better quality video camera than the video cameras that some of us bought 10 years ago. It fits in your pocket. You've already got it there. It's a high definition camera, whether it's the front facing camera or the rear facing camera. And I mean, the quality of these things has become absolutely phenomenal. My wife and I own a high quality digital SLR Canon camera that we barely use because the iPhone fits in our pocket. It's shooting at a high resolution and the photos look outstanding. And in terms of videos of our kids, videos when we're out and around, it's an all-in-one device. And there are so many videos that I've made use of over the years that I'll talk about some of the high quality equipment, some of the high expense equipment that I've bought over the years. Surprisingly, some of the best performing videos I've put out there have been just shot with my phone. And this could be as simple as you want it to be. It could be as complicated as you want it to be. The selfie stick, or just hold it, prop it up with a bookshelf, or buy some sort of tripod that's meant specifically for your phone. Over the years, if you just do a search on Amazon, you can look for a microphone that plugs into your smartphone. And quite honestly, the onboard microphone of the actual phone itself has proven to be a better quality microphone than the ones I can plug in. I still have a couple of them that I'll use if I'm in a noisy environment, but still, it's picking up even better quality just with the microphone that's embedded inside of the device. So consider you've got a smartphone, you've got a tablet device, chances are, and these are outstanding pieces of equipment that you can use to produce your videos. What about from there? Could you go out and buy some sort of video camera? And yes, you absolutely could. People often see me with my video setup that I've got. And quite honestly, I'm not going to reference the exact one that I own because it's a model that they don't make anymore and you can't buy it. And do not fall prey to the game of I need to buy the exact same stuff that Jason Linett has, because you don't. The amazing thing is that the churn rate of new technology, there's new devices, new pieces of equipment coming out year after year. Several times a year. So you don't have to own the newest and greatest thing that's out there. The new trending thing is that I'm going to date myself at the time of this recording in October 2017. The new trending thing is the 4K image, which is an ultra high def image. But still, at this point, most people don't have 4K devices. Give them a couple of years, that'll become the standard. That'll become the new normal. Though as we are right now, most everything out there is either what's considered in terms of definition, 720p or 1080p. Most big TVs are 1080p. Most devices are either 720 or 1080. So if I could give you the simplest of recommendations, what I've found to be effective in terms of my own purchases or even interacting with my own students or mentoring students as well, I tend to recommend either one of two brands, either Sony or Canon. So one of those two brands, and to tell you that if you purchase something that's at minimum about $300, and we're talking about a video camera here, Sony or Canon, minimum purchase $300. Make sure the video camera has an input for a microphone. If you hit that criteria, you're going to have a device that's going to serve you extremely, extremely well. I'll tell you where video cameras get expensive. They get a little bit more expensive if you're buying one that has a high capacity onboard hard drive, which, let me be the first to tell you, I own 2 cameras that I've spent more than $1,500 for because I wanted that big, massive hard drive, and I never use it. Because the challenge of traveling, yes, I know I'm being lazy with this next statement, the challenge of traveling with that video camera and the cable was just a hassle. That also, the transfer rate going from the hard drive of the video camera to my computer was slow. And every single video camera that I've seen out there has the memory card slot for an SD card. And the ability to shoot directly to that high-capacity SD card, which these things are cheap and disposable nowadays, to take the card out of the camera, plug it directly into my computer, that was a faster transfer rate. Unless I'm traveling with my MacBook Air. I have one of those little 11-inch MacBook Airs that they don't make anymore. And for that one, it doesn't have an SD card slot, so I have to travel with a little adapter. But even that was faster than dealing with the hard drive of the camera. That, and it's just faster to swap out a card, or I think I'm traveling nowadays with a 256 gigabyte SD card, which, like, for example, I shot at HypnoThoughts all of my classes, all of my workshops, and my 2-day post-conference all on one card, high definition, dual channel sound, without ever dumping the card. I was backing it up along the way, not to be crazy about it, but again, to have that mechanism that it all fit on one card. So a video camera often gets more expensive if you're going for that onboard hard drive, which, take it from me, rely on the SD card. It's going to be a faster, easier way to do it. The other place where a video camera can be a little bit more expensive is that transition from, there's 2 types of cameras basically, or there are really 3 because there's a middle category I'm about to reference. There is consumer, which is that person just, going into Best Buy, going into some sort of video store, some sort of electronics place and buying a camera off the shelf, as opposed to the professional grade video camera. That would be someone who's shooting professional video for production, for some sort of broadcast, and chances are the stuff they'd sell at like a Best Buy or there's no longer H.H. Gregg. They went under, I believe. But something of that nature, something more in line with the store like B&H Photo that's catering more to the professional. Quite honestly, I don't own a professional camera. What I own, though, and what I make use of is more in the middle of what's been coined as prosumer. So, and I'd reference here, I come from a family where my parents are professional photographers, my brother's a professional photographer, and they're actually using consumer cameras because the consumer grade lenses are top-notch nowadays, and you'd barely be able to tell the difference. The prosumer video camera will allow a little bit better quality sound, and this is going to go over the heads of most of the audience here and let this go in one ear out the other if necessary, that I'm able to connect sound by way of an XLR cable rather than the stereo cable, the standard headphone jack, which is a slightly better quality audio. Though, again, when I've run it by way of the regular audio jack, I didn't notice much difference. So again, Sony or Canon, make sure it's got the microphone input, and you're going to be in a much better place at that point, $300 and up, and rely on an SD card for your memory. In terms of some other bits and pieces, let me reference that the one place I do recommend you spend some money is the tripod. And I say that as somebody who has broken so many deep discount tripods over the years, to the point where like hitting Target and buying a $30 tripod and the thing broke on me. And eventually I put some money into a tripod and I own 2 of these now. They are heavy, but they're just phenomenal. And you can see the exact one that I use. I mean, I even fly with this thing, even given its weight. I've given you some shortcuts here. Just go to worksmarthypnosis.com/tripod. And that will direct you over to Amazon to the exact tripod that I love. It's got a pistol grip. It's really easy to sort of monitor up and down. It's really tall, which makes it great for a class. I can put it at the back of the room, raise it up really, really high, and just pick up me teaching in the room. I think that specific tripod will run you about $80 or $90 depending on the week that you're looking at it on Amazon. In terms of microphones, why am I talking about microphones? Because a video camera is going to have an onboard microphone. Well, people will watch a high quality image. People will watch a fuzzy image with outstanding sound, but they will not watch a high def image with crappy sound, to say it politely. So you want to put some money, you want to put some effort into the microphone system. And I'm going to reference two specific ones here, both of which are wireless microphone systems with a really great range. I own both of them. I use them interchangeably. One of them is a little more reasonable in terms of cost, in terms of, I think, about $140. The other is about $600, but it is worth every penny. So I'll give you a range on this one. So the first one is, let me actually pull up the specific model here. It is the Asden WLX Pro lavalier system, which I've made easy for you if you go to worksmarthypnosis.com/Asden, AZDEN, which, by the way, if you just head over to the show notes at worksmarthypnosis.com, you're going to see exact product references in the show notes over there. So this Asden lavalier system, it's a body pack with a clip-on microphone, and it's another pack that then plugs into your video camera. It runs off of 9-volt batteries. I found excellent battery life with this device, really high-quality sound. A lot of my content was shot with this exact microphone system, and quick credit over to Sean Michael Andrews. If you've seen any of his videos, this is the microphone system that he uses as well, and he's the one who recommended this one to me. It's a great sort of entry-level wireless microphone system. Again, it will run you about $140 on Amazon, and really, really great quality sound. The benefit of the microphone is that's going to put that microphone element closer to your face, and it's going to drown away any additional noise as well. Now, the exact microphone that I use, the one that I travel with, which actually this week is cheaper on Amazon than I bought it for, it is the Sony UWPD 1130 lavalier microphone system. I'm not going to repeat that because instead just go over to worksmarthypnosis.com/Sony. And that will redirect over to the Amazon page for this specific microphone system. I mean, the quality is phenomenal. And if you've seen nearly any video that I've produced in recent years, this is the one that I own, and this is the one I highly recommend. Now, the cost on this one, as I'm looking at it right now, is $530. Which, by the way, if you're going to buy it on Amazon, definitely do the Square Trade warranty on this one. Because just over time, I mean, Square Trade has been a phenomenal company. The microphone packs themselves have never failed me. However, wear and tear over the years of the microphone cable, the actual cable that goes from the pack up to the little clip-on lavalier microphone, that gets some wear, and I was getting some static at one point, and thanks to that 3-year accident protection warranty that I think I spent $40 on, they basically replaced the entire thing for me. So 2 different ranges of microphones, tripod, microphone. Basically, if your camera is shaky and they can't hear you, people aren't going to watch you. So little couple of recommendations there in terms of technology. So with that, let's now move on to what is your actual content here. You know what? Let's actually rearrange some things because you're going to shoot videos, and let's stick on some of the technology here. Once you shoot the video, what do you do with it? Well, a couple of options. It has never been easier to produce high-quality videos. Why? Because there's all sorts of free software out there. Now, chances are, if you've seen some of my videos, I put a lot of production value into my videos. We do a opening graphic animation sequence. There's what they call a lower third, which is a title bar with my name and the course or product that I'm offering, or the Virginia Hypnosis logo underneath me. And you could go to services like Upwork.com Upwork.com and outsource the production of those types of things, or maybe Fiverr.com. But for video, I've found better results dealing with Upwork.com and getting those things outsourced. The other option would be that you really don't have to have those high quality graphics, because just simply turning on the camera, shooting the video, and then putting it up online is plenty enough. And quite honestly, in a profession where there are so many hypnotists who don't even have a frickin' photo of themselves on their website. Seriously. Or if they do, it's a Glamour Shots photo from 20 years ago, and it's time to update that stuff. The real way to really stand out at a crowded marketplace or any business are these online videos. So whether you just do the cropping of the video yourself, and I mean on YouTube, you can actually upload your entire raw video to YouTube and then crop it on there. You can do the edits right there. If you've got an Apple computer, you've got iMovie already loaded on your device. There's all sorts of free video software inside of Windows as well. Or you could even spend a little cash on getting some sort of video editing software, or again, outsource it on Upwork. It's so easy to get this stuff produced. So where do you put it though? Well, I'll reference 3 specific resources here. Video is king, and the number 2 search engine is YouTube. So putting up your videos on YouTube. Now take note, this specific podcast is all about producing videos in terms of promotion. So I'm not talking here about the style of videos that are inside of my courses, which are behind a private membership paid gateway. For that gateway, that's where I'm previously using a company named Wistia, which I used to love, and they changed their billing structure. And given the maybe 300 hours of video content that I have on my Wistia platform, they changed their billing structure, and my pricing recently moved from $100 a month, which was reasonable for what I had up there, to now being well over $400 a month, which we are quickly migrating everything over in terms of the course content from Wistia over to Vimeo Pro. In terms of sticking videos up online, embedding videos on your website, stick with YouTube. That's going to be your best bet. It's also going to be some great search engine Google juice as well. Start with YouTube, then grow out of it from there. And again, inside of Hypnotic Business Systems, you see me actually navigating inside of Wistia and Vimeo if you're looking at producing some products. That's something that I cover inside of there. So we've talked about the actual equipment. We've talked about the quality of the sound. We've talked about the editing. We've talked about uploading it to YouTube. Let's now wrap things up with the most important information. What are you going to shoot? Let me give you some basic guidelines here. Your homepage of your website. Your homepage of your website should immediately have a video as soon as they land on it of your smiling face talking about hypnosis and welcoming people to your website. This is a video which my recommendation should be that it's somewhere between 45 to 75 seconds. It's short, it's to the point. Hey there, it's Jason Linett from Virginia Hypnosis, and welcome to this website. There's a lot of information here, so please take a look around, and please note everything begins with you. We begin this process with a free consultation, which we do right over the phone. Give me a call. I look forward to speaking with you and working with you very soon. And that's basically the structure of my video. It's quick, it's to the point, and take note, I'm always selling one thing in my video. I'm selling the next step. Pick up the phone and call me. That's the next step of that. What other videos? Well, basically, I would recommend every single page of your website should have at minimum one video. So, what are the things that you work with? You could have a video for, I have videos for practically everything. Here's the video for my FAQ. Here's the video for the page of testimonials. Here are several videos on the Stop Smoking page, several videos on the weight loss page. If you look at any of the sales pages for any of the classes that I offer, whether it's WorkSmartHypnosisLive.com or VirginiaNLP.com or HypnoticProducts.com, I put multiple videos on those things. So inside of the video, I can talk about client success stories, student success stories. I can make a specific offer. If you look at some of the videos, I'm offering the option to sign up for a lead magnet, sign up for the video test drive experience. How meta is that? It's a video to get more videos from me. So here is the strategy that I typically share with the people who hire me in terms of private business coaching. What I recommend is you start off by just going through a little bit of a mental creativity exercise and draft out a list of 100 subjects, 100 titles that you could do videos for. 100. Now, I'm not telling you right away, go off and do 100 of them. What I'm telling you instead is to go off and produce a list of 100 videos you could possibly do. And some of you might be thinking that sounds like way too many, but think about it. Within anything that you do, there's so many smaller components about it. Let's talk about fear of public speaking. You could do a general video in terms of increasing confidence in public speaking. You could do another video in which you're talking about the structure of a fear in relationship to hypnosis. It's the mind's bypassing of the critical faculties of the mind. You know you're up there speaking because you're the one who should be up there speaking, and yet here's this feeling saying otherwise. Congratulations, you're already doing hypnosis. I'm going to show you how to do it better. What else can you talk about? You can talk about how inside of the hypnotic experience, you could also be teaching some conversational hypnotic strategies because in addition to relieving that fear and boosting that confidence, why not go in with a couple of secret weapons at your disposal? So right there, I've just rattled off about 4 or 5 different things that could be individual videos all about public speaking. It's where, again, inside of this, there is no limit to the amount of content that you could have out there. And to have multiple videos on a page of a website, again, I found people are watching all of them. And again, by the time they call me, they are ready to take action. So inside of these videos, you can explain things, you could teach things, you could provide value. And quite honestly, the more I go to marketing conventions because I love this stuff. I go to advertising summits. I buy information products to learn more and see what's working now. And the more money I spend on information marketing training, the more people are telling me to shoot videos and tell stories. Which, to wrap things up here, how should you present yourself in your video? Well, consider that a video is a nice way to provide some sort of tour of your office space. Now, take note as well, I've only been talking about the hypnotherapist in my audience. All of this applies over to stage hypnotists as well. You know, you're there at a show, you're all set up, the audience hasn't come in yet, turn on the camera, shoot a couple of videos. Talk about the program, talk about specific nuances of what you do. The best mechanism inside of this is to be human, is to build rapport through the screen. And it's where if I'm broadcasting by way of a webinar, you know, I'm there with my MacBook and I'm looking at the little green light, which is right next to the lens. And in my mind, that little green light is my very best friend in the world who needs help. And I have the resources available to provide that help to get them to where they'd like to be. That is the mindset that I'm going into when I'm shooting a video. When I've got my Sony video camera set up, the little red light next to the lens is directly where I'm focusing. And again, it's that projection of rapport onto that inanimate object. When you do your videos, let me give you a recommendation. Avoid the royal we. Instead, it's one-to-one. People want to build that connection with you. People want to build that value with you. And I'm speaking directly to one person. I'm not there representing something bigger than it ought to be. Now, I do at times have associate staff here at Virginia Hypnosis, though still it's you and I will work together. Here's what we're going to do together. I can help you to do these things. And I'm not presenting it. The place where I'd often see people sort of stammer and stall within their videos is that they're trying to step into something that's not them. They're trying to put on a presentation and really with the same passion that I would talk to a good friend, a loved one, a person in need. That is the mindset that I'm going into when I produce that video, which in terms of the actual content, you know, it's your strategy in terms of what works best for you. Very rarely do I ever script it out word for word. Chances are I'm just going to jot down a couple of bullet points and work off of that, rehearse it a couple of times, turn the camera on. And if you ever suffer from the thought of going, yeah, but Jason, your videos are so smooth and you do it all in one take. Well, that's a style that I like to make use of, though quite honestly, the confidence builder is you're only seeing the last take. The first dozen or so are the ones where I stumbled over my words, completely lost track of where I was, called the class or the product or the service by the wrong name, and then turned the camera off and turned the camera back on to then shoot the final take, which is the one that the audience finally sees. So we all start somewhere, is the best thing to tell you. And the best mechanism that I tell you in terms of productivity is to batch record. Only ever turn on the camera when you're about to shoot maybe 5 or 6 videos. And remember that homework assignment of putting up 100 headlines, 100 different video titles? The benefit here is that suddenly, hey, last week I did a self-hypnosis workshop specifically themed around public speaking confidence. Well, when I turned on the camera to shoot the talking head video to promote that, I also shot a couple of other videos along the way too. In terms of I'm speaking at a conference, I'm attending a convention, and to fill up the room with my at that event, I'm putting out a video talking about what I'm there to present. So notice inside of all that I do, video is king. So my recommendation to you is survey the equipment that you already own. Do not take this podcast session as a call to action to go out there and spend a lot of money right away. Start with what you already own, though if you have the budget, check out some of the resources that I've specifically referenced here that are mentioned over in the show notes over at worksmarthypnosis.com. I do not generally recommend a specific video camera for the simple reason that the cameras are so interchangeable these days, and there's new models constantly coming out. A model that's about a year or two old, again, $300 and up, Sony or Canon, and make sure it has a headphone jack input. Other than that, that being said, the Sony microphone, the Asden microphone, the tripod, these things haven't changed in several years. I think the camera that I own now, I bought back in 2012. Yeah, and it's still working great for me. One of these days I'm going to drop it and have to replace it with a new one. And how's that for law of attraction? So what my recommendation to you would be is this. Set the goal for yourself. Set a specific number of videos that you're going to produce every week. This is the one mechanism that has really built the massive business that I'm now running, has built the automation systems that have everything going so well, and this is the one mechanism that I fully credit the fact to how I increase my business year after year after year. So once again, take action, get out there, and produce some online videos. Hey there, it's Jason, and thank you again so much for interacting with this program. And for more like this, head over to hypnoticbusinesssystems.com. Online videos are just a fraction of the content inside of that massive 70-plus hour library. Inside of there, you're going to learn mechanisms to increase your search engine traffic, to market effectively on Facebook. You're going to learn the mechanisms of list building in such a way that when I go out and give a live talk, I get virtually everybody in the room on my mailing list. So it's everything from no-cost to low-cost strategies to low-tech to high-tech strategies, everything from giving live talks to the insane level of detail that go into my online webinars. So the mechanisms of building multiple streams of income in your hypnosis business, everything that I've done to build what I have, and you're able to join Hypnotic Business Systems for just $47. It's a membership community. You're able to jump in right away, and it's like a choose-your-own-adventure library because you can go directly into the content that you need right away to start building your own outstanding hypnosis business. Check it out. Join us. See you on the inside over at hypnoticbusinesssystems.com. Thanks again.
Thanks for listening to the Work Smart Hypnosis podcast at worksmarthypnosis.com.
Hey, it's Jason here, and reading is lame and videos are awesome. So do this right now. Go ahead and click subscribe right here inside of this video, and that will link you to my YouTube channel, and you will be the first to find out as new information is shared here online. Click subscribe now. Stay in touch. I look forward to hearing of your success very soon.